oral tradition in Islam is superior to the written tradition. So the word kahayas, the one you're making fun of, we learn, if somebody pronounces it kahaf ya ayn sad, I'm sorry, kahayas, the way it's written in the written tradition, we say that's garbage. We have to go to the oral tradition. Okay? أرجو أن تكون واضحة. I hope it's clear. Next issue, Mike is free.
So you're admitting that the written Quran has mistakes in it. Okay? I'll give you that much. So when a Muslim comes and tells me the Quran has no mistakes, and I challenge him on that, now are we talking about the oral or are we talking about the book? Because oral is not Quran. Quran, the word Quran comes from qara'a, qari', which means something is read. So you can't go by oral. You understand Arabic. What about those who do not know the language, who don't speak the language? Well, Mr. Jabir, according to Islam, the Quran is preserved on the board, Lawh al-Mahfuz. So the Quran is written. And then when you say unzila, which means came down, what was sent down? Oral? You don't send oral, you transmit oral. I'm transmitting my words to you. I'm not sending my words to you. مرسل الكلام وليس منزل الكلام. But the bottom line, you just, Habibi, recite does not mean read. Read does not mean recite. Recitation is like hymning, like singing. But Jibreel did not tell Muhammad recite, he told him read. Reading and reciting are two different words, two different meanings. And you can't bring the Arabic words today based upon what the meaning of the words today, compare them with the original. When you want to talk about Quran and the language of the Quran, you have to talk according to the language that was used at that time. You're wrong, Cedar. You're wrong, so go ahead. How do you get off this?
So you see our side of the story there. What do the Muslims know? You could bring in scrolls that shows the most fucked up mushaf you'll ever see. And by the way, I discovered bad mushaf. I've discovered bad mushaf. I went to my teacher in the classroom and I said, Ya Muallim, this mushaf has missing dots. So what the Muallim did, he collected all the mushaf from the classroom and they sent it to Wazarat al-Tarbiyah in Saudi. And you know what they did with these mushaf? They burned them because they had mistakes. The mushaf is the work of humans. It's the act of transcribing the oral tradition. يعني أضربك مثال. I'll make it easier for you. In English we say video. You know what a video is, right? Try to write it in Arabic. The word video, you're going to have problems because Arabic doesn't have V. Even the old Arabic tribes, they did not have certain, they could not write certain sounds. The writing itself was borrowed from a different culture, from the Ambat, Nabateans, and those guys used some form of Syriac, some form of Aramaic in their writing. They could not synthesize every sound in Arabic. Okay? So, when the only reason we use this mushaf, this writing, is to help us, with the memorized book. By the way, when you go to a hafiz, and you learn, you have to, and you get the certificate that you're a hafiz, you will say, I have inherited this recitation knowledge from this imam, who inherited from the other imam, until you have to show it to the Prophet. Okay? So if you take all the Qurans and you throw them in the garbage, if you burn them, if you throw them in the toilet, you know what? We could still recreate the Quran from the old tradition, because we have a lot of hafiz, and you guys do not understand that. You compare us to the Christian scrolls or the Jewish scrolls. We're not the equivalent. We're completely different. Our book is poetic in sound. It's easier to memorize. Mike's free.
So, Mr. Jabir, when you say you found errors in the Quran and they burned it, now which Quran was that? Which one of them? The Quran that says عذابا كثيرا, or the Quran that says عذابا كبيرا? And you can't tell me this is different reading, because كثيرا and كبيرا are two different words. When you refer to reading, it's like saying tomato and tomato, bandura, benadora. I can read it bandura. Cedar can read it benadora. Batata, batatas. That's different reading. But when you talk about tomato to potato, that's not the same. That's not reading. That's different word, different meaning. And then when you have a Quran that the vowel talks in the past tense, and another Quran, the vowel talks about the present, the whole sentence changes its meaning. So which one of them? Hafs, Warsh, the 38, 39, 40 different Qurans? Which one of them is the correct one? And if only one is correct and the rest are garbage, then why are they burned? Why still other countries recognize them? Why are they still sold? There's a Jordanian Islamic bookstore that sells 36 different versions of the Quran. Okay. So don't tell me oral, because oral has to be the same. And if I tell you a message now and you memorize it and you give it to somebody else, by the time it reaches 100%, my message changed. It's been proven. So physically, mentally, ability, it's impossible to memorize this much of words without making mistakes. Number two, the Quran was not written in the same way it was written today. There was no dots, there was no vowels. But when you read according to what is written today. So are you telling me instead of saying nam, they say bam? And we memorized it, bam. And it's written in the Quran, bam. So what you are telling me does not make sense. Physically, mentally impossible to be memorized and repeated without making mistakes, even in memory. And like I said, it was supposed to be sent. What was sent? What was sent down? And Jibreel told Muhammad, Iqra, read. He did not tell him recite or repeat and after me. He told him to read. And Muhammad's answer was, I don't read. So was Muhammad that stupid, did not understand read, Iqra means A'id?
Okay, first of all, Allah, the God of the Quran, did not hand a Lawh al-Mahfuz. He did not hand the scrolls. He did not hand the tablets from heaven to Muhammad and says, hey, here, this is the Quran. It's already been written for you. Okay? We do not have that belief. What to do, the Muslims know. So don't take verses out of context. because I got used to this style in Christian rooms. Okay, we do not believe that. The people who wrote the Quran were during the Khalifa Uthman. They wrote it, and they quarreled among themselves. How do you write at-tabuta? At-tabuta, which means the ark. It's like the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, at-tabuta. Is it with a closed T or an open T at the end? They did quarrel among themselves. Okay, now we do have recitation, oral recitation of the Quran in different dialects, and some people will argue even different languages, and I'm cool with that. The number is 7. There's 7 dialects which the Quran or languages which the Quran, the oral Quran is accepted in. Okay, now as far as the recitation, the number of recitation, the known ones, I think I know there's like 10 or 13 of them. I don't honestly remember the exact combo number. However, those are nothing but a combo of those 7 languages. It could be mostly Hijazi style, then they go with another tribe style. But that's what they call the 13 known qira'at, or I think they're 10 qira'ats, to be honest. Now, some modern mushaf, some modern writing, okay, they will be geared more toward the specific recitation. Okay, that I've seen. Okay, so you'll see dots in different location. As a matter of fact, some Tunisian guy handed me, no, it wasn't Tunisian, a Libyan guy, he handed me the Quran in his house. And I noticed the way they do the dots for the T and the B was different from the one I got used to in the East. And when I asked him to read the verses, he read them exactly the way I read them in the East. I was very surprised. It turned out the way they do the B or the T in their region is different. Okay, again, the writing of the Quran into scrolls, that's a human work. The dotting, the no dotting, the coloring, the printing, that's all, they pay people to do this. It's a human work. Okay? Islam copied early Christian. Phoenician Cedar. Okay. Speaking about Christians, this guy been asking me question. Hi, Pan. So, Cedar. You know Nabi al-Islam. This guy who you called an idiot. The Prophet of Islam. You called him an idiot earlier. Okay. The Prophet of Islam told us, Cedar, what do the guard of gold? The Prophet of Islam told us, if an imam goes to a city where they fornicate, all they do is fornication. Okay? And this imam comes in and he said, hey people, you should have miswak, you should brush your teeth, you should clean your teeth, because your brother, to smile in your brother's face is a sadaqah. If this guy ignores the fornication in the city and the zina and the adultery in the city. Okay? In the Muslim religion, what do Muslims know? We curse this imam or this preacher. We curse him. We say, La'natullahi alayh. Khana amanat Muhammad. He betrayed the message of the Prophet. We call him a false imam, and we call him a phony. Okay? Alright. My question to you, what do the Muslims know? Okay, your Jesus, your God, came to the Jewish people, to his people. Okay, he came to the Jewish people, to his people. The Romans were killing them. The Romans were abusing them. Okay, why didn't he help them? Why he didn't save them from the Romans? Okay, all he tell us, love your enemy. ليس كل ما يدنس عفوا ليس كل ما
Jabir, where did he go? He ran. First of all, the concept of Jesus came to the Jews, that is not true. Jesus came to the whole world. Okay? But again, Muslims are cowards. They want to run their mouth and they don't want to be told what is correct.